don't know, but you turn on the tape and watch him. I think whether you're a football professional, a coach or a player or somebody who really knows the game or a member of the media or a fan, I mean, look at the numbers, look at the results, and I can tell you as his teammate, as his quarterback, there's not a guy who prepares harder, works harder in practice. I mean, what you see on game day is exactly what we see every day in the locker room, on the practice field. Every rep is a Super Bowl rep to Michael Thomas, and that's why he just continues to improve, and he's visualized himself being in this situation before any of us ever saw it. So he deserves a ton of credit.
Do you think he matches your intensity?
Yeah, and and even I mean, it's two different positions, obviously, but I think I would say our sense of urgency is very much the same. Every rep, I try to visualize as a game rep, a Super Bowl rep, a win the game on this rep, type deal, and he takes the same approach. So when we're able to practice like that, I feel like it carries over to the game.
Have you ever noticed how his on-field persona, or been made aware of how it seems to agitate some of his opponents?
Oh, I'm sure it does. I'm sure they hate him, but we love him. I would say some of the greatest players I've ever played with or against had that same type of persona, where if he was your teammate, you loved him, but if you were playing against him, you hate him.
Have you talked about Michael Thomas? Have you had time to maybe reflect on the fact that so many of the guys that have contributed to this run were almost in middle school the last time the team made it this far?
I haven't thought about that. Time kind of flies by. It was funny, it was just on in the lunchroom, I guess, the NFC Championship game from '09, and everybody was saying I had a lot more hair back then. So it doesn't feel like that long ago, but I guess it was.
You've been here in the city for a long time, obviously. You know Sean for a long time. Why do you think the city and Sean have sort of like clicked so well together? I mean, winning is obviously one thing, but beyond the fact that he's had success.
Well, I think from day one, '06, you go back to that time when a lot of us came here, 6 months post Katrina. All of us leaning on one another. This was a new environment for Sean. It was a new situation, first-time head coach. Man, he had his hands full trying to put together a staff and a team to try to put together a winner to give the people of New Orleans and this community something to cheer about. I think he drew the connection very quickly. He helped to create that bond. He helped to create the culture here that fits the mold of this city, and the Who Dat Nation. So I think he's always embraced that, and I'd say that's one of the big reasons why there's such a connection between the two.
Drew, do you think you appreciated in '09 how much of a sort of a once-in-a-decade opportunity that was? Or was there more of a sense of, we're going to be back here, or, what I mean?
Well, I mean, go back further than that. '06, we go to the NFC Championship game, right, and lose at Chicago, and I think we way overachieved that year. We had the spirit of the city behind us for all the reasons I just mentioned, post-Katrina, and that Monday night game in the Dome, and just all the things that season that just seemed to come together. But with kind of a ragtag group, right, of castaways. And so I think after that season, we're like, man, we're just going to come back in '07. We're going to take the next step, and we're going to the Super Bowl. And we missed the playoffs that year. We missed the playoffs in '08. But I think that's when we realized just how hard it is. And we went out and started getting some more pieces to the puzzle and put it all together in '09. But still realizing that it takes a lot of work, and you got to have some breaks go your way. But man, with the right people, the right culture, the right locker room, and the right set of circumstances, that you get it done.
Along those lines, why do you think you were able to, this year get further than you did last year?
Well, I'd say it has a lot to do with the character, toughness, and intelligence of the guys that we have. A huge credit to Mickey Loomis, our GM, our scouting department, Jeff Ireland, Sean Payton, and all those involved with going out and finding the right type of guys, whether that be through the draft or through free agency. Those have been key contributors for us, not just last year, but this year, and the way that a lot of those maybe first or second year players grew from last year to this year. The mindset coming off of that tough loss at Minnesota last year, you know, where we felt like we were hitting our stride right at the right time, and you know, on our way to another championship game, and to bounce back and to become stronger as a result of that, and to come back stronger this season, I think says a lot about the type of guys we have, and obviously the talent as well. You know, we're a talented young team that I feel like can continue to improve and get better.